looking back, it was very much all mental health, masking. There were a lot of good times, man. Like lots and lots of good times. Yeah.
Escapism.
Yeah. I think a lot of it were. I always wanted to be a rock and roll star, and I was really good at like the rolling more than the rocking.
I think a lot of us have been, yeah. A lot of us are.
Yeah. But music has been a massive part of it all as well. So I did put quite a lot of effort into trying to become a rock and roll star. So like as soon as I heard the Arctic Monkeys album when I was about 19, and Libertines, I got my mum to buy me for Christmas like the cheapest acoustic guitar that they were in Argos, and just like devoted quite a large part of my life to. I've been blessed with a good singing voice. So that helped, like, with the guitar sort of stuff as well, man.
Have you upgraded your guitar since?
Pardon?
Have you upgraded your guitar since?
Oh, many times. many times, yeah, man. I've had a few, and there's some that I regret getting rid of. But the clearing out is always good, man. We get attached to some things, and it's good to put yourself through the emotions of letting go of these objects that we get attached to. I had a big 100-watt Marshall amp from back in my band days, and it had just been used as a shelf for like 2 years, and it came to the point where it were like, I've got to let go.
Yeah.
And it went
give it another life to someone else.
Yeah, it has done, and I'm watching the guy who bought it. He's in a band called Seeker. They play in Leeds. They're just a group of young lads, but they're putting the effort in, and they're playing in gigs and venues. So it's like it's nice to know that it's going somewhere, man. Yeah.
Do you know I've got rucksacks like that. I counted when I moved house, and I had like 13 rucksacks. From mountain stuff, and you think, well, I might just use it. I really liked that, but now I've got a new one, and you just sometimes got to get rid, don't you?
It's hard, mate. Yeah.
Become attached. I've had adventures with these. I suppose it's like you playing music on these instruments and through your amp, and then you think it brings back good memories, and you're like, I need to get rid. But if you can help someone else with it,
that's it, mate. I think it's called a parigraha, when you're like clearing out non-attachment and things. It's just letting go of stuff.
It's an issue of Western life, I suppose. Too much shit.
Yeah,
innit? Clothes. Look at clothes people have, man. Yeah. I try and keep stuff minimal, but
and you become an automatic hoarder. Or other people would call themselves a collector, but it is hoarding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what I said. If you had like 3 sets of trousers, 3 jackets, and 3 t-shirts, you've got all these different combinations. You know what I mean? That you can work with. Anyway, without getting too far off this topic, and getting too philosophical. So this originated because I came along to a cacao ceremony, which you were running.
Yeah, man.
And in my recently labelled a hippy dippy, that's what I am apparently now. But this was something that I'm a bit sceptical, because I'd never tried it. I'd heard of it, never tried it. Right, what we're doing? Oh, we're going to go sit in a tent. What time of year was it?
It was September.
Was it?
Yeah, not long after my son had been born. Not long before. Yeah.
Bloody freezing.
Oh yeah, cold.
Yeah, so I went and sat in this really nice, surrounded by trees, bit of woodland, in this big sort of tent, really nicely done out.
Like a big, massive teepee with a bar at the back end of it. And,
the bar wasn't open, was it? Fortunately. No. And it's like, right, what is going on here? So we did the ceremony, and I was talking about it earlier on with someone, saying what we were doing, and I says I actually stood up singing with the group at the end, which is not me. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been my sort of thing as a advancing aged male from the UK. You probably wouldn't be singing in a group holding hands with people, would you? You know what I mean? It's not what we do. So can you tell us a little bit about the ceremony? It's the ceremony, but also the power of the cacao and what it actually does. And we can break it down into bits.
Which way to start with it?
Yeah. I've sort of dumped it on you there, haven't I?
No, it's
a pretty loaded question, isn't it?
Yeah. I knew it would come. I think to maybe open up like a bit about the cacao first, really. With it being like the cacao ceremony. So the cacao is probably like the simplest way to describe it. It's like the main ingredient in chocolate. It's where chocolate comes from. But as people have said to me, like, chocolate is the bastardized version of cacao.
Yeah.
Very much as cigarettes are the bastardized version of tobacco. Like back years and years ago, and still in some cultures, like, tobacco is the most sacred of all the plant medicines. It's the original teacher. But we get our hands on it and turn it into this habit, this dirty thing. Where, like, you look at chocolate now, like dairy milk, and it's like a guilty pleasure, innit? It's something you give your kids to keep them quiet. It's something that you have that makes you fat, and all these things around it. But the cacao is
Can I just check with you? Is it actually a fruit?